Hello and welcome back. For today's lesson, we will review tools and techniques you can use to perform the first step of the risk cycle, identification. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to have a variety of techniques for risk identification, to define the right technique for your specific need, to remind ourselves the risk cycle consists of 4 key elements: identify, assess, mitigate, and monitor. Today, we will deep dive into the identify step. The initial step in the risk management process is to identify the risks that your procurement organization and company are exposed to. It is important to identify both internal and external risks, as both have a significant impact on the company. If you fail to identify a risk, you also miss an opportunity to avoid it, and missed opportunities can lead to significant losses. Let's look at methods and tools for identifying risks, providing more security and better performance to achieve your procurement goals. 1. Brainstorming. Brainstorming is the act of bringing team members together to come up with as many ideas as possible to create something new or to solve the problems. This creative technique explores the team's diversity of experiences and allows members to build on each other's ideas. It's great for identifying risks. With brainstorming, people can share their perspective on risk, providing fresh insights on the same issues. This methodology is simple and requires no specific training. It can be used to identify different types of risks, helping everyone from the teams on the factory floor to top management. For instance, when you have new product development in your company, it's a good practice to brainstorm together with all involved functions like manufacturing, marketing, procurement, finance, etc., to share views on potential risks and identify and highlight to business procurement-related risks. Those can be delivery time, equipment constraints, supplier qualifications, etc. By defining risks and bringing them to the table, you have effective discussion and avoid missing any risk identification at the early stage. 2. SWOT Matrix. Generally used for strategy development and procurement, the SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, matrix can be a valuable tool for identifying risks from a new perspective. We identify the strengths and weaknesses of the internal environment on the left side, and on the right side, the opportunities and threats in the external environment. The SWOT matrix captures both positive and negative instances. Remember, risk is the uncertainty of a future event, which may be positive, an opportunity, or negative, a threat. For example, your company expands to a new market. To identify procurement-related risks, it's worth analyzing and listing supplier and market information in the external factors. You may encounter both opportunities and threats in this scenario. For example, you may find opportunities such as diversified supplier market in this geography, or you may face threats and risks such as forex volatility in this area. The same exercise with internal factors will help to define and list potential risks or strengths for your procurement process or organization. 3. Root cause analysis. The tool commonly used for root cause analysis can be very useful for risk identification as well. Let me share 2 that I use in risk management and find very useful. Let's start with the cause and effect diagram, Ishikawa or Fishbone. An Ishikawa diagram shows the cause of an event and is used to outline the different steps in the process, demonstrate where risks and issues might arise, and determine which resources are required at specific times. So, this tool goes even beyond just risk identification, but also helps you define at a later stage of mitigating risk what resources are required to minimize it. To give you a personal example, I encountered a situation where I needed to expand my supplier base within my category, and I wanted to understand what risks could arise and how to mitigate them. I used the Fishbone diagram to input my problem, which in this case was risk of new supplier entry. Then I listed areas related to the supplier entry process, financial stability, ownership and beneficiaries, service level, capability and capacity, etc. Then I define the potential risks, high risk rating as per DNB, etc. As a result, I had a holistic picture of potential risks, which I then could work on to mitigate. Here is an example template of the Fishbone diagram tool. This template can help you to visually diagram the problem's root causes. This will help you to try to diagnose the problem rather than focusing on symptoms. You can download an editable template and use it. The other tool I use in risk management is the 5 whys. This technique is based on the idea that by asking why 5 times in a row, you can uncover the root cause of a problem. This consistent questioning approach can help to pinpoint the essence of a problem, which can lead to practical solutions. In risk application, it may help you to define the real source of risk and hence create viable mitigation solutions at a later stage. Typically, root cause analysis is used after the manifestation of a problem, but we can also apply it preventively, taking an impact or risk to be avoided as a starting point. In this example template, you can see the practical application of the 5 whys. The problem already happened. The vehicle didn't start. However, in my procurement practice, I could input possible future problems to define risk as well. To give you an example of a possible future problem, I learned that suppliers in particular market pop up in the media with claims on ethical issues. I leveraged 5 whys to get the core risk and source of it, which could vary from weak legislation on child labor on the government level to the absence of a management system on a particular supplier side. By going through 5 whys, I identified that the latter was the real root cause, and so I worked with the supplier to put a management system in place. Delphi Method. The Delphi Method consists of gathering information in an anonymous and structured manner, usually through questionnaires managed by a facilitator responsible for compiling the ideas, risks, identified by the experts. In each round, the experts individually formulate a list of risks or outcomes of the specific questionnaire and submit it to the facilitator. The results of the first round, once summarized, provide the basis for the second round, and so on. Based on the results of the information collected in each round, experts can review or change their opinions and present new arguments. This process continues until all participants reach an agreement. This method is an effective way to reach a consensus, especially when many people are involved. Furthermore, anonymity means that experts can express their opinions freely and avoid errors, reviewing earlier opinions in each round. 6. Inspections. Conducting inspections is crucial for identifying risks, involving visits to facilities and contacting team members. It's especially critical when you work with suppliers' manufacturing facilities, as no interviews and calls will replace the value of visiting plants and observing operations. Use predefined checklists which outline essential areas such as processes, equipment, etc., to be examined for identifying and documenting risks. 7. Review requirements and documentation. Requirements contain significant risks. In addition to ensuring the delivery of quality products and services, compliance with legal requirements also avoid fines, penalties, and various financial losses. For this reason, analysis and review of applicable requirements are essential. Another area to be analyzed and which can provide valuable information is documents. For example, it is important to review documents relating to processes, past audits, or performance indicators, as this documentation review can point out lessons learned, problems, and their solutions, thus making you better prepared should a similar risk occur, or even to identify new risks. For example, I encountered a scenario in my professional experience where we poorly structured one of the contracts with a key supplier. This contract posed significant risks for our organization. Therefore, we examined this inadequate contract document and identified the associated risks. Using the risk register, we developed a new contract template with provisions aimed at safeguarding the company and mitigating risks. Our team at Procurement Tactics created a template for you. It summarizes all the risk identification techniques we learned in this lesson. It also has a placeholder for you to define which technique is relevant to your category and portfolio. Please feel free to download it and leverage it in your practice. And that's a wrap. In this lesson, you learned several risk identification tools. Use them as relevant to your category and situation, and know your risks. See you in the next lesson.